Hi everyone, and it's great to be with you. As per normal, we are witnessing the right, through Sky News, who are the wrong, spread more hate and fear. It is time that we found a way to eradicate this form of messaging from our discourse. We'll never be able to erase them from our lives because they have, unfortunately, the right to express themselves in any way they deem necessary. But as I have stated often, it is the duty of people such as myself on my humble YouTube channel to call them out for being the bigoted, misinformed individuals they are. I am tempted to use more detrimental terms, but on this occasion, I'm choosing to be restrained. What they offer to their viewers is a sort of misinformation which breeds the very fear and hate we should not tolerate. I've got to play a clip now of these three clowns discussing the demonstration in Melbourne.
Both siding this, talking about Islamophobia, when that has just happened. It is start with Zoe Daniels. She's the local member there.
So she's
member
the local
for Goldstein. She
right. So
South
this
Caulfield.
synagogue is in her electorate.
That's it.
And she's a teal.
So
who won at the last election. Just remember this, our Jewish listeners and fans. This is the teal you voted for.
Now, this is her first post. She's posted another one, but there is a protest at Princes Park in Caulfield South tonight. I understand that this protest has affected worship at the HSNS. I would again urge empathy, compassion and understanding from everyone at a time.
So is that empathy for the bloke leaning out of the car with one finger in the air screaming abuse? Are we happy to have empathy for him?
You got to admit, they are pathetic. Seriously, the way they cut in with this dude. Incidentally, when you see this man with his hand in his gun, you can't see the numbers, which is supposed to be a date some 500 years ago, which they briefly discussed here, not knowing what in the hell they're talking about. But the effort they put in to criticising Zoe Daniels, given that she's just making a plea for people to be peaceful, just blows me away.
The Jews in their own community getting thrown out of the synagogue, evacuated because there's protesters outside and things are getting heated. She wants them to have empathy for those.
James, so 1450.
So we'll go into some more of this in just a moment, but I need to say that what these morons fail to understand is that it is possible to have empathy for everyone, not just one group of people. Empathy for just one group of people is not empathy, it is bias. What Zoe Daniels is asking for is empathy for those who sit on either side of this issue, a concept that these biased twits are unable to do. There is nothing in Zoe's tweet which could be criticised, but when you are a moron who must find fault in everything, this is what you do. Only the mindless would view this tweet as being exactly what it is, which is a call for understanding and coming together as a nation, understanding both sides. This is difficult for these clowns because they must have the opposite view to anyone who they believe sits on the left, no matter how right they may be. Only the crazy and uninformed would accept the hollow arguments offered by these really sad and disrespectful human beings. Rita Pants on Fire makes assumptions about what Zoe is tweeting, which are totally inaccurate and unfounded. No one is saying that a protest in front of a synagogue during a prayer meeting is a good idea. What we are all saying is that violence and hate speech are unacceptable, period. There is no ambiguity, it is quite clear. Yet we have an undertone of hate speech propagated by those on Sky News by misrepresenting those who are calling for peace. It is interesting that we don't hear those on Sky News calling for peace either, for some reason. So, of course, the conversation moves to immigration, because all of those on the Palestinian side must be immigrants. I'm just going to play you a bit of that clip for you right now, for your own entertainment, and partly for mine as well.
53 or whenever it is, we have an open immigration an immigration policy into this country, and we are importing people who want to fight medieval wars from 500 years ago, 5 centuries ago, and we're importing them into this country, and that's the gratitude we get. We want to refight the invasion of Constantinople, James. Rita, you mentioned the weak response from Zoe Daniel. What about Anthony Albanese, James? What was his response?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, Anthony Albanese, and again, let's just also note that this wasn't just Caulfield. We also had people drive, again, an hour across town in Sydney to go to heavily Jewish suburbs in the eastern suburbs of Sydney to go and wait.
Now, just on this migrant issue, we know that most of them are likely to be born in Australia, and many more are, well, Christ, let's face it, many more than are just Australian citizens. Then there is this pathetic attempt to embed Albanese into the issue. And I've just got to play this bit for you as well, just for entertainment's value.
Wave Islamic flags and Palestinian flags through these parts of towns, again, in an act of intimidation. Anthony Albanese goes, "This is a day," referring to Remembrance Day, "when we pause to give thanks for the sacrifices so many Australians have made to keep our nation free and peaceful. All of us have a responsibility to preserve that peace here at home, to maintain the harmony and respect that unites us. It is always worth repeating, there is no place in our nation for hatred or prejudice of any kind." Now,
so what's he doing about it? What is the Prime Minister doing about the scenes we saw yesterday?
Well, we do, Peter Dutton,
Yeah.
because I think we should take note of what the Victorian leadership has done.
Okay.
This was in Victoria. Premier Jacinta Allen, pathetic response. Again, as James said, both siding this, no moral clarity whatsoever. She makes references to there is never any place for anti-Semitism or Islamophobia in Victoria. That's how she ends the statement, goes on.
So these clowns are asking what Albanese is doing about it. About what? Making a stand against the hate speech? I love it when they ask the unanswerable questions. You can ban protests, but that will just inflame the situation. You can ask the police to arrest any disturbances, which they do. Or you can ask people to be calm and not stoke the hatred, which these people on Sky News continually do. The final attack, though, on Jacinta Allen is also unfounded and further demonstrates the agenda of the right. The dog whistle we are all hearing is that to slur and to criticise Palestinians or Arabs is okay, but you cannot criticise the Israeli government for the slaughter of over 10,000 people. Under no circumstance can you separate the behaviour of the Islamic State from the Jewish community, forgetting that they are not necessarily the same. Look, this is an exhausting issue, and I guess many of us are tired of it, but it is a real issue that impacts millions of people around the world, and we must take it seriously. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for being with me. Take care, and more importantly, look after yourself.